Thank you very much for stopping by the Gordon Miller podcast. I hope you're all having a great day or hope you're hanging in there. You know, one of my favorite TV shows is Red Green, the Red Green Show. And I like how Steve Smith, or Red Green, the main character, says, keep your stick on the ice. Or his other saying is, we're all in this together. In a way, it's kind of true, you know? But enough of the intro. I want to talk about Joe Rogan. Yes, Joe Rogan. I know a lot of people don't like him, and there's a lot of things I don't like about him. And I'm not going to discuss the things I'm not going to discuss the things about what I like about him or don't like about him. But I really wanted to share why his podcast is so popular. Now, why is it? And you ask yourself, he has a lot of conspiracies, and certainly I don't agree with a lot of them. 90% of them I don't agree with. For instance, I really wanted to focus more on the the fact that he has one of the best podcasts, or I wouldn't say the best podcast show, but one of the most popular podcast shows, is because, well, I think a lot of it has to do with his ratings are so high is because people want to fact check him, listen to what actually he's saying. Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you know, and I think that's a forgotten art in today's world where, you know, if you say things within reason, and maybe he doesn't say things in reason. Maybe he doesn't. But you know, I tell you what, he's one tough dude. I wouldn't want to mess with him after his announcing days in the MMA. That's one guy, you don't want to across. You want to show some respect to in person. That's for sure. Now, that's not about this show. I'm not sitting there giving him praise or anything, or I'm not going to say I like him or not like. I mean, I'm really, when it comes down to it, I'm neutral. I don't really listen to it. In fact, I listen to other podcasts out there, uh, Theories of a Third Kind. There's some construction podcasts, believe it or not. I know it's kind of sad. It's really not that bad. I mean, uh, but there's a lot of podcasts out there I listen to, and even the ones I don't even necessarily agree with. I think part about being a uh, podcaster is the fact that you're, especially like, for example, on YouTube. And I might be going in different directions, but like on YouTube, you can have a video podcast, you can have a podcast like this where there's not going to be, well, technically it's in video format, but technically it's not. I think there's, I think YouTube wants to reinvent the podcast game. Yes, back to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he does have a lot of things that, just doesn't make any sense. The conspiracies in this guy, he I think he definitely has an agenda, and there's a lot of individuals that don't like him, like you already know that. But to make a long story short, the reason he has one of the best podcasts is because a lot of individuals want to fact check him. A lot of individuals they're suspicious of Joe Rogan. I think that the beauty of being a human being is learning. The beauty of being a human being is to not necessarily be extremely forgiving. I think it's gone the other direction where there's not a lot of forgiveness. I think we have to understand. I don't think he's, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really listened to a lot of his podcast. I know he interviews a lot of individuals. There's some podcasts out there like this one on a YouTube channel that's not remotely. This is my first episode, and you know the thing is, it's just I guess I really the main point I really wanted to make is a lot of individuals just don't understand why he. I think I've seen a few or heard a few uh, why individuals don't necessarily like Joe Rogan or don't understand why his ratings are so high. But I think a lot of it has to do with fact checking. A lot of people don't necessarily they want to listen to what he has to say, not necessarily catch to see what he says wrong, but just to see what the heck he says. You know, because a lot of times you're famous for the wrong reason. A lot of, I want to make this channel as the most. I want to make this channel the least political channel out there. I'll try, but you know what? It's almost virtually impossible sometimes. I want to talk about a guy that was followed on X, formerly known as Twitter, the former president. I won't even say his name because you know what? I got issues with him too. I don't necessarily don't like him as like some people where they can't. I'm just gonna be respectful, and not say his name, and I don't want to. I say above all on this channel where I do the podcast and videos and shorts. I don't want to. I want to be kind of complete politically neutral. I don't want to take sides. Honestly, I don't. Really think I've ever really taken a side where I've come out and said you know, supported anybody really. I may come across, but especially on this channel, I don't want to. I don't want to come across as supporting anybody because I don't really support anybody. To be perfectly honest, I do not support anybody when it comes to the political spectrum. But I can have my opinions. I can have my certain, likes and dislikes about a person. And why not? Everybody should be entitled to their opinion. Everybody should be to choose what they want. But the main reason why Joe Rogan has such a popularity is because it's not so much he has a popularity. I don't believe that. I think a lot of individuals out there just fact check him. They want to fact check him to see what in heck is he going to say. I think when it comes down to it, that's what I really think is. And who knows? That's really what a lot of individuals even on YouTube and social media, they follow somebody not because they want to be a fan of them or so they can gain subscribers or anything or views. It's just so you follow somebody. And I think a lot of it has, I think a lot of people follow somebody because they really want to see what the person's going to say. And I think, and really it's kind of I don't want to say it because we all done it before. It's kind of a deviant way of following somebody. Oh, what are they going to say next? Don't try to invite yourself to being offended. Joe Rogan, I certainly don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says. But at the same time, I'm not going to just don't like the guy because he has an opinion. But sometimes, I think people can be too literal. And I think it's very good to be cautious, be protective of everything in this world, and that's certainly great. I try to be middle ground, and I'm certainly trying to strive there. I'm striving towards middle ground, but I think the bottom line, why Joe Rogan has such a popular podcast, is because the popularity issue or the not popularity issue. It's not because he's popular, and I know I said it, and I can't stress it enough. The reason he is so-called popular is because, again, people want to fact check him. Thank you very much for listening to the Gordon Miller podcast. honestly, I hope you all have a great day, and remember to try not to take it too serious out there, folks. I know it's tough, uncertain times, but it's always been that way. So, all right. Thanks very much. Have a great day.